Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into Eiffel software. They've spent decades on a mission to answer one huge question. Why can't we build software with the same kind of predictability we use to build, say, a bridge?
I mean, let's be real. If you've ever been on a software project, you know the drill, right? Deadlines start slipping, mysterious bugs pop up right before a release, and you make one tiny change that somehow breaks everything. It just feels so chaotic. The big question is, does it really have to be that way?
Well, what if I told you there's a company that's been saying, nope, it doesn't have to be like that for decades? They've been laser-focused on bringing some serious engineering discipline to the world of programming, making it feel less like a gamble and more like a science.
And that company is Eiffel Software. We're talking way back in 1985, founded by Dr. Bertrand Meyer, who, by the way, was one of the absolute pioneers of object-oriented programming. From day one, they've had this single goal: make software development a predictable, controllable engineering discipline.
And they decided to go after the really tough stuff. I'm talking about the holy grails of software development, preventing bugs before they even get a chance to exist, and building code that you can actually reuse, not just copy and paste all over the place. So, how do they do it? Well, it all centers around their flagship solution, EiffelStudio.
And the core idea behind EiffelStudio is honestly pretty powerful. This isn't just another code editor. The entire environment is designed to let you take that crystal clear model you have in your head and translate it directly into code that actually works without losing anything in translation.
And when you have that incredibly tight connection between your idea and the code, you start to see some huge advantages. When requirements change, and you know they always do, you know exactly where to go. You end up building systems that just work right out of the box. And best of all, you create software that's way easier to adapt and change down the road.
All right, so what's the secret sauce here? How does this all actually work under the hood? Well, it's all powered by a set of core principles. These are really the pillars of the whole Eiffel philosophy. You've got things like void safety, which is all about getting rid of those dreaded null pointer errors, and seamless development to keep the whole process unified. But there's one on this list that's a real game changer. The one that started it all.
And that's design by contract. The idea is actually pretty simple, but incredibly powerful. Think of it like this. Every single piece of your software has a strict, legally binding contract. It has to spell out what it needs to run, those are the preconditions, and it has to promise exactly what it will deliver when it's done, those are the postconditions. The system then automatically checks these contracts for you, catching problems long before they become bugs in production.
And when you build your code this way, you get this incredible sense of confidence. Just listen to what Paul G. at Team Lead in Software Development had to say. He says, the compiler is your friend. If the software is compiled, it runs, very stable and robust. That's what happens when you build those guarantees right into the code itself.
But here's the thing, it's not just about the software tool. Eiffel provides a whole ecosystem to make sure you succeed.
So of course you have EiffelStudio, that's the core, but on top of that, you can get access to their team's decades of hands-on experience through consulting. They'll even lend you their top experts for your project's entire duration. And naturally, there's a full suite of support and training options to get your team up to speed. It's the whole shebang.
Okay, so the theory is solid, the company sounds great, but what's it actually like to use this stuff? The proof is in the pudding, right? Let's hear what developers on the front lines have to say.
One of the first things you hear from developers again and again is this idea of clarity. Just an incredible, unprecedented level of clarity when you're navigating a big, complex system. I mean, just check out this quote from Larry R., a software developer. He says the navigation is the best he's ever seen, and that he can't even remember the last time he had to use a text search to find anything. Now, for anyone who spent hours grepping through a giant code base, that statement right there is just mind-blowing. It tells you everything you need to know about the structure.
So you take that amazing clarity, you combine it with the rock-solid guarantees of design by contract, and what do you get in the end? You get the ability to create software that isn't just working, but is provably reliable and correct.
I think this final thought from Vulcan A., a senior software engineer, really just nails it. He says if your goal is to build state-of-the-art systems that are reliable and correct, then Eiffel is the right language and EiffelStudio is the right tool for the job. Which, leaves us with a really big question to chew on. For so long, we've all just kind of accepted that software development is messy. You build, you test, you find a ton of bugs, you fix them, you repeat. But Eiffel's whole philosophy flips that entire cycle on its head. So, I'll leave you with this thought. Is the future of our industry moving towards a world where software is built to be provably correct right from the very first line of code? It's a pretty radical idea to think about.